What's going on, guys? Got a gun review for you today on the Glock 27. That is Glock's subcompact 40 caliber pistol. Great concealed carry weapon, and that is what I use it for. You can also get this same size gun, same frame, same slide, basically a little smaller, but you get a 9mm in the Glock 26. I prefer the 40 caliber because, like I just mentioned, I use this as my carry gun every day, and the 40 caliber bullet is not that much more expensive to shoot than a 9mm, but you get quite a bit more stopping power out of it. So I'll pay a couple cents a round more for the 40 caliber bullets for the stopping power. But you can go ahead and follow through with this review if you're considering the Glock 26 and 9mm. If 9mm is what you want to carry, that's good to go. But it's just about the same pistol. The only difference really is the caliber. Price and everything like that is still the same. Size and weight is just about the same. But go ahead and watch through, even if you're considering the Glock 26 and 9mm. But this review is specifically on the 27 and 40 Smith & Wesson. We'll start off with some size and weight on the Glock 27, and it is as follows. The length is 6.54 inches. Tip to back, 6.54. The height is 4.17 inches. It is 1.18 inches thick. It's very thin. Great to carry. That's why I carry it. Barrel length is 3.43 inches. Right about there. The line of sight, which is rear sight to front sight, is 5.67 inches. Unloaded weight is 19.75 ounces, not inches. Inches is not a unit of weight. Ounces, that is. And the loaded weight with the 9-round magazine is 26.98 ounces. Looking right about 27 ounces for the Glock 27. Easy to remember. Trigger pull is 5.5 pounds, and the travel's a half an inch. So when you're shooting it, it really feels good. One thing that I absolutely love about Glocks, and this is all Glocks, is that the triggers are so incredibly consistent. You know exactly when that round's going to go off. So it's really easy to make sure you've got your proper sight picture and sight alignment and everything like that going, because you know exactly when that round's going to fire with the Glock. So I absolutely love it. The barrel rifling is a right-hand hexagonal twist. For most people that doesn't matter, but just throwing out the information there. And overall, shooting this thing is an absolute beauty. So I'll get into a little bit more about how I feel about it shooting, how other people feel about this gun shooting. But first we'll talk about a couple other things. You hear the word safe action pistol, Glock safe action, and most people don't really know what that means. And what that basically means is that there is no external safety on here. A lot of guns will have a safety here. Sometimes we'll have an ambidextrous safety on either sides. Some guys will have it on the back, but Glock doesn't have that. That's why people like to carry them. They do not have an external safety. You can see this little bit on the trigger there, sticking out. That's basically it. So that's where your safe action comes. Now, when you pull the trigger to fire the round, it does have safeties in there. There's 3 safeties in a Glock. They're all internal. It's got a trigger safety, which is that middle bump right there. As you can see, that's your trigger safety. You can't pull the trigger unless your finger is all the way in there. Can't do it. But if you put down that little paddle, it fires just fine. There's a firing pin safety and a drop safety on this. So yes, Glocks have safeties. They're safe action pistol. They have 3 safeties in them, but all 3 are disengaged when you pull the trigger. They are not engaged again until the slide is racked. Now all 3 safeties are engaged again, and you can't pull the trigger or you can't shoot a round unless you pull on the trigger. So that is what a safe action pistol is. That's how Glock works, and they work really good. So they're good to carry. A lot of people in the heat of the moment will forget to put their weapon on safe or off a safe onto fire, and that's a problem. So that's why a lot of people like Glocks. One thing some people don't like, but it's really growing on the community in general, is the idea of a polymer frame. This frame is plastic. This gun is a plastic gun. The frame is anyway. But it's lightweight. It's strong. It can't corrode because it's plastic, so it's really good. Excellent choice of materials. Glock are really the ones who really took off with the polymer frames. They made it a reality. on guns. They always said before Glocks, they said that you couldn't make a plastic pistol. Everything was metal. They were heavier. They reduced the weight on these things, and they've really taken storm. Most pistols now are polymer frames, so Glock started that. The gun does feature a loaded chamber indicator, which this little piece here will stick out so tiny bit. It's absolutely ridiculous. So take a look at it here. It is flush. You can see there. Now I'm going to go ahead and load around in there so you guys can see. I'm loading up some Hydroshock. This is what I carry, hollow point. So I'll go ahead and load this up so you can take a look. No, I'm not pointing the gun at my own face, but just so you can see. It does stick out a tiny, tiny little bit, like my nail will catch on it. That is what Glock calls their loaded chamber indicator. Kind of a joke, but it does stick out a little bit, and that's what it's there for. Let me go ahead and unload this. Also, so yeah, like I said, the loaded chamber indicator is kind of a joke, but it's got it. You know, if you painted the inside of that red, like a lot of ones are done, you might actually get a little more out of it, or a white stripe. Break down your gun and pull that out and paint it. You could really get a little bit more use out of that loaded chamber indicator, but it's not really an issue. The metal on the frame is extremely strong on this. It's got a hardness level of 64 HFC, which is just about as hard as diamond. So durability is not a question. A lot of people also refer to Glocks as the AK-47s of pistols. They can run dirty. They can shoot just about any kind of ammo. They just shoot. They can shoot underwater. It doesn't matter. You can't make one of these things jam. I mean, you can, but in reality, in real situations, it's not going to jam. I've seen people take these things and throw them in the dirt and put dirt down in the chamber and rack the slide a couple times and put it underneath the water, and it shoots. So just incredibly durable and reliable too, and they're accurate. You might think that a little tiny gun like this wouldn't be too accurate, but that's not the case. These things are super accurate. Accuracy with this pistol in general does not come without practice because it is small. One of the biggest complaints is that the pinky hangs off. Now there's two ways to get around that. One is that when I'm shooting, I clamp my hands around it. I actually make a big cup out of my hands basically, so it really doesn't bother me that I'm under there. I just clamp onto the bottom of the gun. Also, you can get, here's a standard magazine that it comes with. So there's your magazine. Pinky falls off. You can go ahead and get a magazine extender on there, as you see here, and that holds onto your pinky a lot more. So most people will throw them on there. I carry my extra magazine that I carry with me has the magazine extender on there, but I like the slimness of not having that on there when I'm carrying it. So it doesn't bother me. You got to train with it, but that is sometimes an issue to people. But for me, it's not a big deal. What this gun was designed for, or designed with certain things in mind, is one, it's a backup gun. It's a very popular backup gun for police, especially those agencies who have switched from 9mm to 40. There is a big push for that because the price on 40 is going down in comparison to what it used to be compared to 9mm. 9mm used to be considerably cheaper, and 40 caliber was considerably more expensive. But they're really evened out the playing field. Where I buy my ammo, it's only about 2 to 3 cents more for the 40. So a lot of law enforcement agencies are switching over, and they will use this as a backup gun. They use it on duty, off duty because it's reliable. They know how to work Glocks, and it's the same caliber. Glock says home defense. Okay, home defense, yeah, any weapon can be used in home defense, but my personal opinion is that for home defense you want a full-size pistol. They're easier to shoot, more rounds in the magazine. I will discuss magazines and round size, not sizes, round capabilities, which is pretty cool with the Glock, but the main reason that this was designed for is for concealed carry, and I do carry it every day. I carry it in front at about the 1 o'clock position, right in front of me, so I can just scoop down and grab it, and it's not a big deal. It's super quick to get. The holster I get, where did I put it? Hang on a second. Here it is. The holster I use is a custom holster. It's a skeleton holster. it basically, I'll show you, just slips in like that. So you can't get to the trigger. Trigger can't be pulled. It goes, tucks in front of the waistband that way. I'm going to do a full review on this, but belt goes in there, or the pants goes in there, and the belt goes on there. So when you pull it, it just slides right off, and you can present the weapon. But there's tons of holster options for this. Because Glocks are so popular, there are so many different holster options you can use. But where I carry it at the 1 o'clock in front, I use a skeleton holster made by a YouTuber, Philly EDC. John, excellent guy. Like I said, I'll go into that more in another video. We'll stick to the Glock for right now. If you go to the gun store and you buy one of these, either new or used, but with all the original pieces, some things that you can look forward to getting with it are 2 magazines, 2 9-round magazines like such. Usually they'll talk you into spending 10 or 15 bucks on an extender, so it's worth it. You can go ahead and get that. So you come with 2 magazines. It comes with this box, Glock box. Woo, box. Comes with a lock. Okay, whatever. And a speed loader. I don't think it's really all that fast, but there is a magazine that this does work. Does help, and I'll go into that in a second. But that's what you're going to get out of the box. One of the things that I like about Glock is that, yeah, they're very simple, but you can get a bunch of accessories for them. Those accessories can range from really stupid and cosmetic. For example, you can go on eBay, and this back plate right here, you can slip that out. It's just plastic, and you can get ones with little pictures on them, American flags, "Don't Tread on Me," zombie stuff, whatever you want. You know, all kinds of dumb stuff. Harley Davidson. Whatever, but you can replace that. You can do sights. Sights are an option. For example, here, let's see. Here's the one I was looking at. Here's another one. Clear. 2 Glock 27s. This one here has tritium night sights on it. This one here does not have night sights on it. So sights, you can get different sights on them. Sight options. I prefer the night sights because I carry it, but it's a couple more dollars for that. About $80 more. You can get grips. This is an aftermarket grip that actually helps a good amount. I mean, the hand grips on here are not bad. They're really not. There's a good amount of stippling on there. But for me personally, I really squeeze down on the gun a lot. Maybe a lot more than I should. I'm really clamping the gun when I shoot it. And it doesn't hurt, but it gets irritating, this checkering in the back. But if you go ahead and you get one of these aftermarket grips on there, it's just about the same texture, but they're softer and they're grippier. It's like grip tape. It kind of gets rid of some of that. So it's only a couple bucks, but it's really, really, really nice option to get these aftermarket grips on here. Of course, you can get the Crimson Trace grips with the lasers and all that stuff, but looking cheap, if you want to get rid of the toughness on the stock, you can go ahead and get the grip tape type grip portion on there, whatever the heck it's called. Talon grips. Sorry, that's what they're called. Talon grips. DALON. That's what this little sticker is called on here. And it's worth it. I enjoy the way that the Talon grips feel on there. Now, another thing that's great about Glocks, and this goes for all their calibers, is that when you pick up, say I got this Glock 27 subcompact 40, I could put any 40 caliber Glock magazine in here and it shoots just fine. So, like I said, comes with a 9-round. Show that in there again. 9-round, okay? 9-round with a base plate, like that. Cool, right? Now you can go ahead and you can go even bigger to a Glock 22, which has, see, I don't know, here's another 9-rounder, 9-round base plates, 9-round no base plate, a Glock 22 magazine, has 15 rounds, so it fits in there just fine, and you can shoot the pistol with the Glock 22. It's a 15-rounder, and another 15-rounder. Or you can go with the Glock 23, which is a compact, and that's got 13 rounds. So you can also put that in there. So comparing the 13 and the 15 round Glock 22 and Glock 23 mag, you got them right there like that. So, but if you have, it's just a way to keep the calibers and everything flowing really nice on them. So it's a really great thing with Glocks is that you can stay in the same caliber, but get bigger magazines in them. Or you can get really obnoxious and get some aftermarket magazines. Like here's a Glock 22 15 round magazine. The last number, bam, right there. Or we can go ahead and do one where the last number ends in something like that. Yeah. There's a nice big 29 round magazine. Pretty crazy, but you never know. I mean, they're fun to shoot. You don't got to reload as much, but there's a 29 round 40 caliber Glock magazine. Works just fine, as you can see. It's kind of reduces the reliability, and obviously that's a magazine problem with this because the spring is so long. But you have the option, all kinds of magazine options with these, and that is another great reason to look forward to buying a Glock. Now, like I said, that's per caliber. This is all the 40 caliber magazines for Glock. If you got a 9mm Glock 26, you can put the Glock 17 full size or the Glock 19 compact magazines in a Glock 26. But it's just an option, and it's really it really is a selling point to a lot of people. Oh, and I did say that the speed loader does come in handy with one magazine, and that is with the 29 rounder. Because once you get magazine or the magazine's almost full down to about 20, 22 rounds in there, it gets really tough. So you just slide that down, and you can really get your round started in there with this speed loader. It's not really fast, but it does assist when you're loading a ridiculous amount of rounds in a magazine. That's what I was referring to when I said the speed loader is good for some things. Now, another great thing about Glocks is how simple they are. I'll go ahead and go into field stripping and cleaning it. You got these pull down tab here and on the other side. All you're going to do is you're going to pull back on the side just a tiny little bit, down on these, on the two tabs at the same time, and it comes loose. You got your lower receiver, your recoil spring, guide rod inside, your barrel, and your slide. That's it. That's all there is to it. So you can really get down and clean it. It doesn't even really need to be that clean. I don't ever advise not cleaning any weapon, but Glocks don't really need to be cleaned that much. Reassembly is just the opposite. So taking it down and cleaning it is like a complete breeze on Glocks. All Glocks are the same, breaking them down, but there you see it for this Glock 27. Overall, it is my go-to gun when I am on the street or toting about town, whatever it may be. I use the Glock 27. I have different magazine options with them. I absolutely love the reliability, the accuracy. They're fun to shoot. They work. So I really love everything about a Glock. Believe it or not, I have this Glock. This is the first gun I ever got. I have this Glock, serial number and all, tattooed on my body, full size. That is how much I absolutely love Glock. So I'm not saying other guns aren't good, but Glock is my gun. It's what I carry. It's what I believe in. In Glock, I trust. So if you guys got any questions on the Glock 27 specifically, or even other Glocks, I know a fair amount about them. So go ahead and ask me questions, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. If I don't know, somebody else in the forums will know. If not, I will do everything I can to find out the answer for you. But I could probably answer the majority of your questions you have on Glock. I hope you guys learned something about Glocks, and I hope there's some good discussions below. And check out my channel for other gun reviews, and I've got a lot more coming. I am stateside now, so a lot more gun reviews coming in the very near future. So thanks for stopping by and checking out this review on the Glock 27 in 40 caliber Smith & Wesson. See you guys.